Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
We are about to get started. So let's get into it. First, let me make sure everything is copacetic. We're going to go live on Instagram as well as over here. Hopefully, y'all can see everything. Y'all can. Okay. So, we're not going to keep you guys long. I'm going to try to go live on both platforms as often as I can so you guys can hear me. I know y'all over here on Instagram. Hello. All right. So we're going to be talking about Raw today. Raw was a pretty solid show. Didn't really have much of a problem with what we saw today. We saw a few things. We're going to start at the end and work our way back to the beginning. Beginning and end of the show was very good. Set up the next feuds for obviously the two top billing stars on the brand currently right now. So since we just saw it, let's start at the end. We're going to Tarantino this shit. Let's start off with y'all favorite champion, Roman Reigns. So Roman had all night. He actually, if you want to be technical, he actually opened the show. He had a little moment. Roman Reigns decided, to sit down with his cousins and have a little tribal chief, conversation. Okay, he had a little huddle. You know what I mean? Turn it down just a little bit, babe. And basically what he did was consult his cousins on how he should approach this situation with Jacob. And the cousins are operating under the guise of one is very much, let's go back to the OG days where we take over and everybody just deal with what we got going on. And the other cousin is like, hold up, wait a minute, it's a 22. Jacob not lying about wanting and needing what he want. Okay, it's okay. But he going about it the wrong way. Okay, so you got the devil on one side and you got the angel on the other side. Now, Roman, like, I need y'all to tell me what y'all think and how y'all think I should go about this. Both cousins told him straight up, Jacob is not like any other opponent that you've ever gone up against. In fact, Jacob is dangerous. He is unhinged and he is not predictable. You're not going to be able to approach this the way you approach your other matches, okay? So, Jay Uso was like, hell no, crash out on that nigga straight up. Crash out on his ass. He need to know his consequences for his actions, right? Jimmy like, hold on. We ain't got to approach it like that. We can steer Cuz in the direction that he needs to go. But if he got to learn a hard lesson, let him learn a lesson. But let's not burn the bridge. So you got two opportunities, two options. We didn't know how it was going to play out until we got to the end of the show. Now, Roman did a lot of talking tonight, as he always does, talking about how he elevated the title, how the title wasn't shit without him, how it wasn't worthy of being a brand title until he showed up. When he showed up and when the title got on him, now it's relevant. I disagree, but tomato, tomato. So, after he got done being acknowledged, Jacob came out there and Jacob was like, he said, I was just getting ready to call you, Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to tell you, I'm just saying, it's real simple. It's all brakes, no gas with it. You know what I'm saying? Like we know you look mono, we know you look game. So let's keep it all the way G. Let's keep it all the way 100. I don't think you're ready. You're not ready. You're not ready for nothing that we got going on. You're not ready for the championship. You're not ready to be moving. You're not ready to be in that circle. You're not ready to be in that conversation. And Jay, he was like, I gave you a week to think about it. So tell me what you think. Jacob said, I need a motherfucking week. I didn't need a day. I didn't need an hour. I told you what I wanted, and I stand by that. He said, 12 years. I was grinding, trying to get my life together, making sure I couldn't remember, have days where I didn't know if I was going to eat. While you and my cousins is up here living the high life, I was in the dirt. I was in the mud. I was doing what I had to do for myself. You didn't call me. Jay didn't call me. Jimmy didn't call me. But you know who did? Solo did. Roman was like, I know you motherfucking lying. Are you serious? He said, nigga, you must be crazy. He said, Solo ain't got no pool around this motherfucker. Solo can't bust a grape. He can't even order coffee, let alone bring somebody to the eat. I signed off on that shit. Everything you touch, everything you go about is me. It's because it's my money. This is my pool. You feel me? He got to going on his little rants, talking about you ain't ready, you ain't never been ready, blah, 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 blue. Jacob choked the shit out that nigga in the middle of the ring. Just choked his ass out. I said, God damn. We just choking niggas? We just choking them? Jacob said, I don't want to hear that shit. He said, I'm going to take everything from you. Left that nigga in the ring. Now, of course, Laredo, Texas was not happy. But it doesn't matter. The tribal chief was gasping for air. He couldn't breathe. I was trying to teach him how to breathe. When I was watching, I tried to tell him, you got to take big, deep breaths. You got to get your lungs filled to capacity. But he couldn't do it. So Jacob walked out the ring, walking up the ramp, and Roman said, listen, Jacob, you want me at Backlash? Well, you got it. It's me and you at Backlash. And Jacob was like, nah, I'm not waiting till Backlash. I'll see you next week on Monday Night Raw. And I was like, uh-oh, trouble. You in trouble. Uh-oh, trouble. So, Jacob and Roman are set for Backlash. So we love that for them. Kevin Hart got roasted. I didn't know that. It said it started at 8 p.m. today.
Yeah.
It started at 8 p.m. today.
Mm-hmm.
Now Netflix know they crazy. Don't split the crowd like that. Anyway.
Started that shit too.
Right? It said trouble. That's me. That's crazy. Anywhoosies. We're gonna move on. Kayla said, he said the man was stupid. Let me know Jacob was holding the mirror that whole time. Ooh. This is where, if you new to how I do things, when I do my Raw and SmackDown and NXT recaps, this is where I give you my commentary on it. So listen, Roman can't approach Jacob like he approaches his other opponents. He's not going to give you the option of being able to cut him down like that without repercussions. That's not going to happen. you're going to have to treat Jacob as if he is a threat all the time. All the time. You can't walk around and think that because you the champ and you the tribal chief that you're untouchable. This is a different day. It is a different age. Had this been circa 2022, probably. Then I'd be like, Jacob, you're crazy. I'm not talking to you. Shut up. Then I'd be like, Jacob, you're crazy, okay? Because you about to get your ass whooped. But that's not the case. Now, your cousins, they not your lackeys, they're your equals. And you've made that very clear, which is more than likely why they didn't bring their asses out there today. But we gonna see. Backlash is in 2 weeks. I don't think Jacob is going to beat Roman Reigns at Backlash. In fact, I think it's going to be quite the opposite. A lot of people think that this is Jacob's initiation into the original bloodline, very similar to how Roman inducted his other two cousins into the bloodline. It's always blood in, blood out. Okay, so we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Nah, he didn't have his teeth. He didn't have his teeth. Let's jump around a little bit. Let's go over to Becky. Becky came out there and cut the same promo she's been cutting for the last 3 years. She's a 3-time Intercontinental Champion in a span of 2 years, I want to say. All I'm gonna say to that is it's unnecessary. Now, she was out there obviously bragging and very happy for her that she got to have a match in front of her baby and she was able to carry her baby to the back and be the hero to her daughter that she's always wanted to be. But she promised that this time around that the champion was going to be a fighting champion. Now, when she issued an open challenge, Io Sky answered, and she decided to cut Io Sky down, telling her that she asked for Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty, which I was like, first of all, hold up, wait a minute, it's a 22. In no way, shape, or form would I ever consider Io Sky to be the Marty Jannetty to Rhea Ripley. Let me tell you something right now. I don't give a fuck how popular Rhea Ripley is. She is not, nor has she ever been as good as Io Sky. And she was of the guys that if you can't beat her, join her. Because Rhea Ripley has yet to beat Io Sky. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to put Io Sky in a box of Marty Jannetty. We're not doing that. And if we're being honest, let's keep it real. Let's keep our keep it real hats on. Okay? We're talking about the 4 horsewomen. Yes, out of all of the 4 horsewomen, Becky is the most decorated. However, she lacks the skill and charisma that her counterparts have. She lacks the in-ring skill and the ability to gather the crowd the way that Bayley does. She lacks the in-ring skill that Sasha Banks does and the charisma Sasha has. She lacks all of Charlotte's aura. Everything Charlotte brings to the table, she lacks. Okay, out of all 4 of them, Becky is not at the top of the mountain to me when it comes to the girls of the 4 horsewomen in terms of how they're able to wrestle, garner the crowd. Becky just got into her bag later. Everybody else had their shit together. She was a late bloomer. I'm just saying, some of y'all might not like it. Some of y'all may not like that. But it's okay. It is all right. Jay know his sensitive ass would have went out there if he could. I'm over on Instagram reading this. And Williams Bryan said Jay know his sensitive ass would have went out there if he could. Now he's sensitive. Well, it is Crash Out Jay. So Becky tried to run. And that didn't work out. Adam, thank God for Adam. He made the match, so it was a one-on-one match between Becky and Io Sky. Now, Io Sky still got issues with Asuka. As many times as Io has beaten Asuka, I don't understand why they keep going back to this. But, whatever makes y'all happy. They decided to send Asuka out there, cost Io Sky the match. And that was it. That was over. So I'll tell y'all why I didn't go live Saturday in a minute. Um or Friday. I'll tell y'all in a minute. But that was it. Becky retained her title and everybody was happy, I guess. And I'm just at this point. See, here's my thoughts on Becky being champion. You didn't have to do it. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, well, AJ Lee wanted time off. Cool. So AJ Lee could have got time off. AJ Lee could have retained her championship at WrestleMania and then dropped it the next night at Monday Night Raw. Same way they did Becky with the tag team titles with Lyra. So I'm not understanding why AJ Lee couldn't do that on Monday Night Raw the next night. I didn't want to see Becky with that title again. She does nothing for it, if you ask me. And I'm sorry, but it's time for, if you want new and fresh, then let's get new and fresh. Let's move on. Let's have some new blood. Please. Speaking of new blood, Joe Hendry made his Raw debut tonight, and he definitely has told the world that he is a Raw superstar. He has chosen Monday Night Raw as his new home. So he decided to have a beautiful concert for all of the girlies, the we, theys, and thems, the gays, and the straights. Okay? He decided to serenade everybody and letting everybody know that Logan Paul needed to be fired and that he sucks. Okay? And I was right there with it. Logan Paul decided he wanted to have a little crash out. If that's where you want to call it. It sounded more like a temper tantrum. But he came out there crying and shit. And then came out there crying and shit. And then the next thing you know, the Street Profits was back out there again, whooping ass, you know. Joe Hendry was able to get the drop on them, and they was able to take them out. And baby, look, it was Murder She Wrote. Joe Hendry and the Street Profits stood tall. And we got a nice little moment with Joe Hendry and the Street Profits. Okay, we love that for them. We really do. Earlier in the night, Rusev went up against Penta. Now, you saw last week that this got a little complicated. It seems that the Intercontinental Championship title race is getting a little tight. There's a lot of bodies at the top of that mountain, or at least climbing that mountain. So we had Javon Evans make it very clear that he was so close on that belt, so he is not stopping until he get that title. And then you got Rusev, who was mad because he got his ass whipped at WrestleMania. And then of course Ethan Page has showed up, and he is not wasting any time. He's going right after that title. So Ethan Page won his match last week. Right, cool. But this week, Penta was facing off against Rusev. Rusev and Penta was having a match, and Ethan Page decided he wanted to get a up-close ringside seat to all the madness and the mess. So he sat ringside while the boys was in there fighting. Whole time, okay? Whole time, shit was getting real. Penta ended up picking up the W in this match, but of course, Rusev punk ass could not accept it and decided to attack Penta. Then Ethan Page decided he wanted to join in, but when Penta got the drop on Rusev, Ethan Page helped Rusev take out Penta. That's when Javon came out and they evened the odds. For now, Javon Evans has decided that he's going to be by Penta's side until it's time for him to go after that championship. That is when things will begin to change. I don't have a problem with the messiness of the Intercontinental Championship. In fact, I like it. This keeps the mid-card right and tight. Everything is moving, and you see what the moving parts in that mid-card is going to be for right now, especially after they done did a lot of spring cleaning as of lately. It was Roxanne's hometown of Laredo, Texas, and she was having a match against Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. Now, earlier in the night, Roxanne and punk ass Raquel decided to attack Stephanie for Liv Morgan. Of course, it was a warning shot, letting her know that the title is hers and she ain't gonna never get it back. Okay, cool, you bald-headed bitch. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Now, they went out there. Stephanie obviously was beat down, so she couldn't do nothing. She ain't getting no get back. For whatever reason, they went out there. They had their match. And while they was in the match, of course, Liv Morgan had her ass out there with no clothes on. and them damn ragged ass boots she always wearing, and them tight ass extensions that need to be changed. Layer your extensions, please. I be begging. Anyways, they had their match. Roxanne and punk ass Raquel won, and everybody was happy because Laredo, Texas, got to see they famous Roxy perform, and everybody was happy. And I was like, okay, I just don't care. Now, prior to this, in the locker room with the Judgment Day, Liv wanted to have a conversation with Roxanne and basically ask her where her loyalties lie, but she tried to do it in a little nice, nasty way. What she said was, well, Liv, we just, I feel bad about what happened with Finn. No, you don't. No, you don't, babe. You don't feel bad about that. You don't feel bad about any of that. You've been plotting and planning to do that for months. You were just waiting for the right time to do it. Huh? Then you say, I'm always around to help you guys. I'm always trying to help you guys out. Really? Is that what you're doing the last couple of times that Raquel was going after a title and it was obviously, a title you wanted? So of course you didn't want her to win it because you didn't want to have to go up against your sister, right? So you cost Raquel the title multiple times, and Raquel, as dumb as she is still on your side for whatever fucking reason. I don't know, honey. Could never be me. But that's her, apparently. So that's her business. Okay. Now, Roxanne was in there. She basically was like, Roxanne, babes, look, are you going to be loyal to the Judgment Day? Because we're family. Okay. And we take care of our family. Roxanne is like, girl, I'm with you. She was like, okay, cool. Are you ready to go? And she was like, I'm going to hang back right here for a little bit. And then I'll be out there. Finn comes sneaking into the dugout and was like, listen, you can't trust her. Okay, you cannot trust her. She like, okay, I can't trust the Judgment Day or I can't trust you. And he was like, really? She was like, look, Finn, I'm with the Judgment Day. That's my family. I'm not going against them. So you need to get the hell out of here before you get hurt. He was like, okay, I hope you know what you're doing. And that's it. That's all. She don't, because as soon as she gets an opportunity to go after a title, you'll see how your little family gonna pan out. Your little family. That's crazy. Now there was another match on the card. We had, like I said, we had Penna, and then prior to that, well, after that, we ended up having the El Grande Americano match facing off against Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio won that match, I think. I don't remember. And then El Grande Americano came out there and they started to fight, and they have a mass versus mass match happening on the 30th of May, right before Clash in Italy pops off. Okay, so it's a lot going on next month. Now, let's talk about Seth freaking Rollins, shall we? Seth technically opened up the show. He came out there and made it very clear that he was not here to play with you hoes. He came to slay, bitch. And he was like, give me Brian Breaker. Meow. Bring your ass outside. Meow. So Brian Breaker came storming down there with his with his action figure arms. He could put his arms out. And he was walking all fast and shit. I was like, God damn. But anyways, Seth Rollins was like, I gave you everything. I gave you everything. And you turned on me for what? For what? And I was like, you know what? That's a good fucking question. But I'm going to answer it. Originally, it was for that U.S. time, for that World Heavyweight Championship. He turned on you for the title. But see, y'all little injury curse took hold of your whole group. Except for Logan Paul. I don't know how he was able to escape it. Dan Houser, I guess, didn't get there in time to curse everybody. But in your little injury curse struck everybody. Took everybody out. Okay? So that's why it didn't lead to nothing. That's why I didn't go nowhere, because it didn't have nothing. Okay. Now Brown ate him up today. I'ma get him. Now Seth Rollins tried very hard. He tried very hard. I'm gonna go over to Instagram and see what they talking about. He ain't talking about nothing. Seth Rollins tried very hard to let Brian know what the game is. He said, listen, you got all the talent in the world. He said, I'm going to take you back down. You know, I'm going to get you where you need to be. But before we get there, Brian Breaker was like, what you give me? What you give me? We was in this group whole time. We was just flanking you. Whole time, we was just following you around, protecting you, helping you out with shit, cleaning up your mess, putting out your fires. Half the shit we got into was because of you. Okay? And it was our asses that was on the line cleaning it up. It wasn't you. So what did you give me? Huh? What did you give me besides a fucking headache? Seth was like, all right, I see what time it is. You tend to forget. But he said, I don't. He was like, let's go back down memory lane. Let's go together. He said, back in the day, when you was still in NXT, I called up Sean. I said, send me your top talent. Sean said, I got you. I show up in NXT and you and I, we throw down. I say, that guy's got it. He said, we get a lot of guys coming in and out of WWE all day, every day. I've been in this place 14 years, and I can honestly say that even though we have guys that are big as you, if not bigger, just as athletic, just as good, they are not you. You are unique. From your athletic ability to your build, to your speed, to the incredible things that you can do in this ring, there is nobody who is like you. You have it. But the one thing you lack is the noggin. You lack that. He said, let me tell you how this works. Let me show you. Let me give you a little gift of gab. Let me give you the game right quick. He said, yeah, you got here. You was moving up in the tackle. You had it. But he said, where you make moves and you think about things, you fail, I succeed. Okay? Everything I think about, everything I put my mind to, I get. That's not the same with you. And I was like, trouble. Brian Breaker was like, are we forgetting? It's like, let me tell you something. He's like, you bring your ass out here every single fucking week with the same bullshit rhetoric and got it, pinched his nose and was poking fun at the man. Had it down. I said Brian Breaker had to be practicing while he was out. Had to be. Brian Breaker ate his ass up from the rooter to the tutor. He said, you a player too ass nigga. He said, yeah, I went up against CM Punk for the championship. And you know what? He got it. He beat me. But at least I lost to the best of the world. At least I lost to the best in the world and not some self-proclaimed best wrestler. I said, not you clocking T. Sir. I said, Brian Breaker ate his ass up. He ate his ass up from start to finish. I said, bitch, whoever wrote that for you, you need to give them all of their money. They need their ass ate. Because you tore his ass up. But Seth wasn't going to take that shit lying down. He said, listen here, baby Steiner. I might be a player too, ass nigga, but I can tell you this. At least I am a player too. You ain't even the second best Steiner in your family. And I said, God damn, so he was like, where you get your lines from? Big Papa Pump helped pump you up a little bit. They got you together. I was like, oh shit. They was going back and forth today. I was liking they little back and forth. It was real cute. But you see, Seth, you see how karma is a bitch. She may not come when you want her, but she come when she's right on time, bitch. Because I remember the days back in the day when the shoe was on top and you decided to go in business for yourself and you took out everybody. Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, fracturing the Shield forever. You did that. And then when you get your own faction and shit is centered around you and the very same thing happens to you, you want to know why. I don't know why. You should see the mirror. Huh? Did you not see yourself? Did you not see you in him? Because if you ask me, you one and the same. It's just one of y'all is a hothead and doesn't think things through, and the other one plans and executes. Now, Brian Breaker made it very clear why he did what he did. He said, I didn't want to be your bitch anymore, and I wanted him in my corner. And Seth was like, nigga, you cut me for some steaks, for a few nice plane rides, some dinners at the corporate office. That's what you cut me for? You could have got that shit on your own, which he not lying. Brian Breaker had his foot in the door already, was double, triple champ. He had the championships at least twice by the time he got ready to get into this with the vision. He did not need Paul Heyman nor Seth freaking Rollins. But Brian Breaker is not wrong. When he says that Seth Rollins needed him, he is absolutely right. The timing of this is where you have to start making your final assessments, okay? So think about it this way. Seth Rollins was not having a good go of things around the time of the vision was formed. He had gone up against CM Punk multiple times and he had lost. He lost. He was completely ignored in that love triangle of a match in the previous Mania. Nobody was giving Seth any play. Everything was centered around CM Punk and Roman. The only time that Seth Rollins was able to pull anything in his corner was when he was able to sway Paul Heyman to double cross both of his former families to join his, only for him 6 months later to destroy the one thing that he built. You cannot go through life stabbing everybody in the back and then expect loyalty. You have taught people how they should behave. You should have saw this coming. I know I did. And I told y'all that Brian Breaker was going to be the first one to breach. I knew it. You could see it in how he behaved. She said, I don't care. That Brian promo was fucking awful to me. I could not stand it. You know he cut that nigga deep. You know he cut his ass deep. It feels like Izzy texted all of this on her days off. Shit, if she did, that's a good bitch right there. But was the line about Seth saying to Brian, did you holler at Big Papa Pump for the hookup? Was it a nod to some side-eye steroid shade? Yes. Yes. Yes, it was. 1000%. Absolutely. Going back to Instagram, it says I see Bronson coming back either at Backlash or Clash in Paris, helping Bron's constipated ass. Of course, he'll be there soon, but I'm not mad about it if he does come back. They gotta make this a full circle thing, and they have to keep Seth away from Roman for now, and they have to keep Braun away from Roman for now. They have to keep them separated and occupied. So, and they need to work out their feud. That needs to happen. So I liked the two promos that was cut at the beginning of the show and the end of the show. I thought that they did those very, very well. I thought Jacob was just as menacing as he needed to be. I thought that Braun Breaker did a good job compared to how he's cut promos before. He did a very good job on this promo. He was standing in his truth and said what he said. I just need him to stop drinking so much coffee so he can stop shaking when he got the microphone in his hand. Because it just comes across as you scary. And I know you're not scared, but you shaking like that. I'm like, damn, how much coffee did you drink today? You got the coffee shakes, babe. Stop that. Stop it right now. Or Coke, because he brushed his nose after saying that. I mean, it could be a Coke thing, but it could be a double entendre. You know what I'm saying? Not Big Papa Powder. That's crazy. So, y'all, tell me in the comments, both over here on Instagram as well as over here on YouTube, how y'all felt about Monday Night Raw. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you think that something could have been improved? Tell me what you liked about it, okay? But we had 2 women's matches, the IC challenge, and then we had the tag team match. And that's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying? But we had some interesting things happening over here on Monday Night Raw. Now, what we did learn is some matches have been set up. Jacob is facing off against Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Asuka is going to face off against Io at Backlash. And then we'll see what's going to happen from SmackDown. But we also know that the Street Profits are going after the Vision for those tag team titles. And that's going to make the tag team division a little bit more fun. Plus, Penta probably will have an opponent at Backlash very soon, which I'm very interested in that as well. They seem to be rounding up some things. Backlash is going to happen. Then we'll have Saturday night main event. I believe it is on the 20. Let me double check. 23rd. That's my sister's birthday. So Saturday this year. Saturday, May 23rd, which will be 2 weeks from Backlash, I believe. And then we'll have Clash in Italy on May 31st. So we got a lot going on. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot happening. So let me see what they said in the comments. Mikey also said the ending was fire. The ending was very good. I like the ending. And I like the beginning of the show. I thought them opening with Seth and Braun was a good idea. I thought they would put them at the top of the hour. I'm missing one match. Obafemi went up against Grayson Waller today. Grayson Waller obviously lost, but Obafemi did have a match today, and he issued the Obafemi Open Challenge that's going to be happening, and he's allowing anybody to step up to have an opportunity. So there you have it. It was pretty good. Donna Jim said it was pretty good. Aaliyah says, I liked Io stepping up just because I love seeing Becky get hit in the face. I don't know what they're going to do with Becky Lynch, but I need them to come up with a decision about Becky pronto, rapido. Do something, okay? Because I'm tired. We're all tired, okay? And y'all done cut these damn superstars after y'all done brought them back so they couldn't go to AEW. But let me tell y'all why I didn't go live last Saturday. I didn't go live last Saturday because I didn't fucking feel like it, okay? I was exhausted. I didn't go live Friday because I was just irritated and I wasn't gonna be good company. And people come to my page and come to my lives, even in the replay of the lives, they come to hear me talk about wrestling in my own little way. And if I'm not feeling it, then it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of my time. So I didn't want to do it. And then Saturday, I just didn't feel like it. Okay, I'm a human being. Sue me. I'm a human being. I saw what happened on Saturday though. I saw that Sami Zayn was a gingerbread man. That man got moves. That man got hella rhythm. Okay, beat up both Lil Yachty and Trick Williams. Not only that, but Jacob was out there fighting the MFTs and beat all of them niggas up by himself. Okay, so it was a very good time. All right, and of course, y'all favorite Tiffany Stratton won the U.S. Championship. Cool for her, whatever. Um, and then Riot Squad, not Riot Squad, they remind me of Riot Squad. Fatal Influence debuted over on SmackDown Friday. They also beat up Rhea Ripley as a squad. So whatever makes y'all happy. I don't know how they're gonna do this. We haven't seen Jade Cargill in a while. I did hear that Jade Cargill might be getting moved to Raw because she prefers the Monday Night Raw so she can have Fridays to be with her family, which I love that. I also heard in these streets that AEW ain't fucking with Aleister Black like that. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about how Aleister's not going back to AEW because they don't fuck with him like that. They don't like him over there in AEW. And I'm just very confused already. I don't know. I expect Apollo Crews to pop up in like Ring of Honor or something like that, which I wouldn't mind. I feel like Apollo would get used very well in Ring of Honor and possibly in AEW if he shows up over there. So it's gonna be an interesting time. I was irritated by some of the releases, but at this point, it happens so often that I'm just jaded by it. Some of them shouldn't have happened, in my opinion. Kyrie Sane being one of them. And I honestly feel like in terms of Kyrie Sane, I feel like Kyrie could do very well as her pirate character in TNA. I would go to TNA for a little while and just shake some shit up in TNA. But they don't like to pay people in TNA, so she might be able to head on over to AEW if she wanted to, or go back to Japan and wrestle if that's what she wanted to do. It's totally up to her. But the releases happen every year. Are we always going to go on this tangent of hating people for having to do their jobs? No. Are you going to like every release that happens? No. It is a part of the business. I want to also tell y'all something. Y'all do a lot of correlation with things that don't need to be correlated. Like y'all are looking at people's salaries in terms of salaried WWE employees versus independent contractors. WWE employees are paid through WWE as the conglomerate. It's a separate thing. So they're not being paid out of the employee salary pool that with the superstars. That's not how that works. So I need y'all to first, before you start going off on a tangent about shit, I really need y'all to dial it back a bit because you could still support the superstars. No one is saying that you can't. No one's saying you can't. You follow them, buy out their merch. Their merch is still on the WWE shop right now. Buy out their merch. Okay, support them. Follow them wherever they go. Make sure you show up at their shows. Make sure if you can buy merch from them, buy their merch. You know what I'm saying? Support their brand deals that they may possibly have. Do all of that instead of going online and going off about things that we cannot control. Okay, that's not something that we can control. And it's going to happen again next year when they do that. So let's just, we can voice our opinions and be upset about it, but you also need to be careful about how you say things and just move forward. Let's just be very, very clear about that. Okay, I'm over here on Instagram right quick because L Boogie said I could see Nikki healing from her injury and coming back for Becky's IC title with Paige and Brie backing her. I mean, that's an option. I'm not mad at that. Sure. Whatever makes you happy. I'm not a Nikki Bella fan, so I wouldn't watch it, nor would I care. But I guess the title wouldn't be on Becky, but you put it on somebody else who's also a part-timer style wrestler, and I'm I'm over the nostalgia bullshit. I want to move forward into new pastures. That's what I want. Nikki Bella is something that y'all like, and I'm not shitting on that. And I'm not gonna say she can't have the title because if Becky can have it 3 times and Nikki can have it once, bitch, whatever. But me personally, I would prefer if it was somebody else, somebody like Ivy, give it to her. Somebody like if you pull Meechin, B Fab, and uh Jade over there, you can give the title to Jade, or I would give it to Meechin just to give Meechin a title run. That's just me personally. Williams Bryan said he saw that too about Aleister Black. He said, I want to see Aleister go to MLW and go after Cross. That's something we missed in WWE. You know what? I wouldn't mind that. I feel like that would be fun to watch. And Cross is willing to work with anybody. He's really, really a good dude. Really a good dude. I'm so upset. But anyways, got to sometimes take a powder and roll back in before the 10 count. I can't. Mikey is stupid, but we love him for it. Favorite is a reach. Okay, they should have knew that was Sammy. 40 seconds into him dancing, they was stupid. They was stupid for that. Sammy got the skills though. I love Sammy. I'm on Sammy's side. It's Team Sammy with me all day. I don't care. It's his knees that give him away from me. Yeah, he like to dance on his toes a lot. Good they don't deserve him. Well, I don't know what's going on, but they're very vocal about him not coming back to AEW. A lot of talent have been saying no, keep him away. Apparently, he didn't like getting pinned, especially by certain people, and was low-key difficult to work with. Okay, that's not good. Miss her already bested her endeavors for Kyrie. That is where I want to see Aleister in New Japan. Aleister being in New Japan could reset New Japan because New Japan could use some help. All their stars is leaving and coming to the States. Evil's coming. There's another guy coming to NXT. You got Rainmaker over in AEW. Takeshita's over there. So many people. Do you think Jade would do good on Raw? I do. I think that in an environment, sometimes when an environment is shifted, things will change. And on Raw, Jade Cargill, to me, she don't really have a lot of competition. If we're being honest, not in terms of she doesn't have anybody to compete with, but it's just Jade is gonna be the big bad wolf on Raw. And I want to know who she could contend with. She can contend with a lot of people. I would put her up against Becky immediately and let her go over on Becky. And there would be a non-title bout between the two of them. So that whenever she went up against whoever was champion, whether it be Liv or Stephanie, it would be a nice leg up for her beating a former champion as decorated as Becky is. That puts her in a spot to be able to compete against Liv Morgan or Stephanie if one of them is champion by then. So I think putting her on Raw is good. Personally, I want her to be on Raw just to be able to contend with Judgment Day. You got Jade and the Baddies versus Liv Morgan and her one and a quarter baddie, and I'm not talking about Roxanne being a quarter. Which blows me about Aleister because Andrade was literally fighting niggas and they were happy to see him back. I know. So something is not right here. Something is very, very off. But Becky is the IC champ. Well, Becky ain't always going to be champion. That's what I'm saying. Have Becky drop that title to somebody else and then let Jade and Becky have a non-title battle. I don't need her to have to go after Becky with the title. Becky need to drop the title. What do you see Blake doing on SmackDown? If they were smart, they would put Blake right on Tiffany Stratton. I don't think she should go after her immediately. I think you can kind of work your way up to Tiffany, but I would put Blake by the time we hit SummerSlam. Blake Monroe would either be challenging for the title or she will be champion. That's what I would do. Because Tiffany ain't the girl. Blake is the girl. Blake got the chops. Blake can give you the comedy. Blake can be your mean girl. She can be your face if you need her to be. She can be a good anti-hero. She's a good tweener. You know what I'm saying? Blake is a good villain. She works well as a villain. Tiffany's just a typical mean girl, but Blake Monroe is mental. She real nasty with it, and you gotta love the intricacy of her character, right? The glamour and the woman from hell. You like the duality of her because you can use Blake in multiple situations. Tiffany Stratton is a one note, one trick pony. I guarantee you, in 2, maybe 3 years, Tiffany's gonna fizzle out. Whereas Blake Monroe is still going to be ever evolving and moving into new spaces. You got to trust me. Crush her little dreams. She going to do something, child. Okay. Boogie 86 said they keep missing the opportunity of Jade and Charlotte. Personally, I love that opportunity, but I don't know when they're gonna split up Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Whenever they do, then they can go into that route. But I would, if they're gonna move her to to Raw, I would move Charlotte over there too. You know what I'm saying? I would move Charlotte over there too. They need some star power over there, and you can move some people from Raw to SmackDown to kind of switch some shit up. Especially if Judgment Day finally breaks up, you can move Raquel over there and let her get a fresh start over on SmackDown and kind of build some people up so that you can have some true star power over there. Because right now you got Chelsea, you got Julia, you got fuck ass Tiana, you got Rhea over there, JC, Fallon, Laney. The tag champs float between the two shows. So Paige, Brie, and Nikki, when she gets healed, they all float between the two shows. So they don't really count. And then you have Jordan Grace, and whenever Naomi come back, she might show up on Raw. Since Jimmy's over there, she probably gonna show up on Raw. And because Montez is on Raw in a year or two, which I think in a year or two is when Bianca will come back, Bianca will pop up on Raw unless they've moved them to SmackDown by then, which I don't think that they will. She said, I have Brewer Blake defending. You have her defending? Okay. Y'all know when Mark Henry vouched for someone, they do come out great. Mark Henry have a good eye for superstars. So I know I'm glad WWE was like, bring your big ass back over here. Scout these. I don't blame them. All right, let me go back to Instagram right quick. All right, I may not like her, but I think it's about time Kaylani Jordan gets called up. I love Kaylani Jordan. I do think she be doing the most as a villain, but I love Kaylani. I think Kaylani's gonna be in NXT to help anchor the other girls that's down there. They're gonna need more than just Izzy and Lola down there and Jada Parker. And Kaylani's got a little bit more chops than the other girls, so she'll be able to be a nice veteran for the new girls coming in. So I would say let her mingle down there just a little bit longer. Zari is also there. Let her mingle down there a little bit longer, and then she'll be brought up probably sometime either later on this year or next year. She'll probably be brought up because Carmelo and her are getting married. So I suspect that around late October, more than likely, Royal Rumble is when she'll be brought up to the main roster. All right. And then finally, Boogie said Tiffany has already fizzled out, in my opinion. Hey, when I said the girl was lame, niggas was on my head. Okay? So I let y'all see for yourself. But I promise y'all, we'll be back Wednesday when I go live for Freestyle Wednesday to talk about NXT. And we're going to talk more about the releases again. And we'll talk more about this Aleister Black tea because it's crazy. It is crazy out here in these streets. But y'all make sure y'all rate, comment, and subscribe, okay? And I usually go live with my Down for the Count podcast girlies, and we talk about wrestling over there as well. Okay, so make sure y'all show up and show out over there. Down for the Count stuff is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you are missing it, we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Okay, we all over the place. All right, and of course, if you want to support the channel, the way you can support the channel is always scrolling at the bottom. Okay, you can donate with the super chat. You can donate through Cash App. It's totally up to you. I have a secondary channel, which I'm getting ready to start posting stuff on that channel as well. It is completely separate from wrestling. So if you don't want to hear, reading Reddit or makeup stuff and stuff, then I wouldn't go over there if I were you. But if you love wrestling and you like talking about wrestling and you like wrestling breakdowns, and you love me, then keep your ass over here with me, okay? And I'll keep you straight. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys so much. All right? I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.